Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sakina Manzoor and welcome to my video. In this video, we will explore the basics of socket programming, how to establish a connection in the socket programming, how to send and receive data, how to close the connection. First of all, we will discuss what is a socket programming. Socket programming is a way to establish a connection between two devices, either is a computer, a laptop, or a mobile phone, etc., over a network. Socket programming allows devices to exchange data using protocols like the TCP protocol or the UDP protocol. Let's start with the basic. What is socket? Socket is an endpoint for communication between two devices in a network. It is also known as a node or an endpoint. You can either say it. TCP and UDP are the protocols used in this socket to make a connection. TCP is basically a connection oriented, means it is reliable but it is slow. It needs connections, while UDP is connectionless protocol. It does not need any connection but it is unreliable. Your data can be lost in the way, but it is fast. Let's see how to establish a connection practically in a program.
In this activity, we create two programs on a server and client. The first one is server and the second one is client. So we can create a communication with each other. So what is the purpose of communication? Communication with each other through this socket. We can use socket for the communication. Socket to activate. Socket function is used to activate. Here we can its parameter is three. That first one is domain and the second one is type means UDP protocol or TCP protocol, and third one is its IP addresses. The server program this was the server program first execute. We do in the server program first create a server socket. You can see that in server program we can first create a server pocket and a server port number used here is the 9876 that will wait for the connection for the client. When it will execute the server program first make like run, it will execute the server program first like it execute will show like a server is waiting for the client. You know that the connection established for the client. First we convert the receive data to the string, then convert into the uppercase and send data to the client, and this program will execute. They can give the output and the output will show. So run करके हम इसको देखते हैं. So we run. Here you can see that UDP server is running on the port 78986. Now we go the UDP client Java. UDP client Java, first we know the public static void main. It is a Java syntax. You all know about the Java things. Next we create the socket for client. Take data from the client. In this program we enter the data. We enter data like now we execute here. You can see that run the program. So write the message and you type the messages hello. So you type a message that will send to the server and the message is the hello, HELO, hello. And this is the connection between the UDP client and the UDP server. Now we go to the next activity that is called the RTT server. First we discuss the what is RTT. RTT is a reliable transfer protocol. So now this is the lab server activity of by using the reliable data transfer protocol. So in this data will be transferred using UDP with that connectionless. First we can discuss what is UDP. UDP is a connectionless protocol. It is less reliable and error detection is an optional by using the technique that is the checksum. As we know that UDP is fast but unreliable protocol, so you can note that less or receive out of order data can will be received by out of the order. So in this activity we simulate the reliable transfer protocol by using the acknowledgement. Here we have two programs. Here we can discuss two programs, that is the RTT server and the RTT client. First we can discuss the RTT server. In this activity we create two programs. The first one is RTT server and the second one is RTT client. In RTT server, the purpose of this program is that where the server expect acknowledgement from the receiver from every message. First we write import.java. These are the input output stream. It is a public class RTT server. Public static void are the main syntax of the Java. In port number 9990, it's mean that the create a server pocket that listens from client connection on a port 990. Now in this area you see that the server socket accept waits for a client connection. Now setting up the communication stream where the reader use for read text from the client, writer send text back to the client. You see that the read and write. Now we can handling special cases, that is the upper and low. At the end we can close the connection of this after receiving the acknowledgement, send acknowledgement for और receiving message हमने ऊपर डिस्कस की थी कि ये हमें क्या हर अपना इसका काम क्या है कि हमें हर मैसेज के पास एक्नॉलेजमेंट जो है वो देगा. नाउ एट द लास्ट हमने अपना कनेक्शन क्लोज कर दिया. आफ्टर कम्युनिकेशन एंड, जब कम्युनिकेशन एंड होगी तब हमारा क्लाइंट का सॉकेट जो है वो क्लोज हो जाएगा. नाउ सो वी कैन सी द आउटपुट ऑफ दिस. The output of RTT server is this. RTT server is listening on the port 90. Now go to the second part of the activity or the RTT client. In RTT client you see that the Java's output input stream, Java syntax, and the void main, all of the syntax. Here we discuss the host name and port number. Host name is the local host, same machine, and port number we use in the RDT server, that is the 9090. Now here you see that we can set up input and output, because import java.tutorial भी हमने यूज किया. वो किस लिए यूज करता है कि हम जो है यूजर से इनपुट लेंगे. So chart loop, we use a while loop. True if the condition is true, the program is executed. If the condition is not true, then we will go back. Exit करेगा condition को. if की condition हम use करें text dot equal is ignored by. अगर हमारा text by के equal हुआ तो client का connection exist होके close हो जाएगा. Wait for two lines. First line, that is the, here you see that wait for two lines. First one is that the acknowledgement message confirmation, and second one is that the any data the server pack. So in simple word, the client program connect to the RTT server, send message, receive acknowledgement and data from the server, and end with the type by hello. It's depend upon you. So we can run this. Here we can run. So by disconnected from the server and deconnecting to the RTT server. So this activity RTT server and RTT client connections. Now, last, the conclusion of socket programming is that socket programming allows two systems, server and client, to communicate over a network and the connection is established. So, the small summary is that the server first create a socket, blind it to the port and listen from the client request, and the client create its own socket and request a connection to the server by IP and port number. We can short say that socket programming establishes a reliable communication channel between the client and server through communication setup. Hope you all understand well. Thank you so much for everyone attention.